a Residue. I had the octave riff, and then I had the idea of playing it over that little guitar chunk in the beginning. And then when me and Paul were actually rehearsing, I think we just recorded that song. We got to the ending. I thought, well, what if that octave riff fits on that ending riff as well? And when I found that out, it was just like fucking, it was like party time, you know? It was like, let's go hit the fucking bar and celebrate our awesomeness. Because it was one of those goosebump moments, you know? It happened, and it's like, man, it's like hearing, for me, like hearing a pre-song that you don't expect to be as awesome as it is. But we were making that up, and I remember that moment. I'm like, this song's gonna be super awesome. Some of those riffs, like the verse riff in Residue, that's been around since Paul was in the band the first time. That's an old riff, but it never found the right riffs to go with it. So I knew I liked it, just kept it. The lyrics to that one, I finished when me and Paul were sick with COVID. We were stuck in a hotel in California, and made the most of my time. You know, it's politically driven, and the approach, you gotta talk to this guy.
Yeah, there you go. So I think with Residue, it was great as far as the approach was. Kerry laid down a great foundation with a guide vocal, and we demoed it, and I dug it. And when we were listening to the demo back, I just thought that it still could use a bit more intensity, actually a lot more intensity. And when we got into the studio, I remember Kerry might have been, when I was tracking, he was usually in the booth with Josh, and they'd give me their input between takes and whatnot. But this particular one, he went out to pick up some lunch or something. And so I got in there and just started hammering it out, going for it, with a much more aggressive, approach than what we did on the demo. And I remember just coming with that first line. The first line was hitting hard, but the first words weren't. And I remember it kind of came to when Josh is like, just to get in character, yell first, like, ah! And then it'll get you in character for that first word will hit just as much. And we did that, and it sounded fucking awesome. And because we kept hearing it, we just got used to it. We got to keep that in. And then so from then on, I think I got through the first verse and the chorus. And I remember Josh was like, damn, that sounds sick. And then Kerry walked in, and Kerry said, who told him to sing in that? Or that register, rather. Who told him to sing in that register? And then he came back in the vocal booth and said to me, he goes, I mean, is that how you want to sing it? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, can you do that night after night? I was like, yeah. And I think that's kind of where it came from then. I just kept that intensity. I could see, he was fired up by it. So, and then the rest of the guys started hearing it, and that got me even more fired up about it. So I just kept that same intensity level throughout the whole delivery of it. And yeah, I think that song, jumped up leagues from where we had it with the demo. And I'm very proud of that. Yeah, I'm proud of all of it. That song hits hard.
I remember that conversation. I asked you like 3 times.
Yeah.
I'd take an hour off, and I'd come back. I'm like, you got this, right? And you fucking swore up and down you did, so we kept it.